Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sunday Functioning Chat with Kettle Kitchen. Let's get started. I enjoy watching my guests down below because they all do different things. And Mouse Toes, when she's on, she tries to play the trumpet or trombone, and my two sitting down below are like just kind of waiting. So it was different. Oh, they're busy doing things. I see. All right. So, anyways, I want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for coming to Sunday Functioning Chat with Kettle Kitchen. This is where we discuss things that are going on, whether it's in your homesteading, your projects, or YouTube in general, which is kind of the conversation today. I do want to bring my guest up. So we have Miss Brenda from Freedom Redbird. Thank you for coming in.
Hi, Tony.
And I believe one of the first times, or maybe the second time, this individual's been with us on my channel, and that would be Miss Andale from Andale.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you for coming
in. Sharing us out.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. So real quick, while I can, I want to say hi to those that are in the chat. My numbers will start growing here very shortly, I'm assuming, just like everybody else's. But we had Joe Fix It For You, who was first in line today. That's great. Thank you for coming in. Of course, Freedom Redbird's in with us. And Rena LaRue has joined us. It looks like she's canning pickled beets. So lucky her. I'm not a beet fan, so have at it. Then we got Susan Ty. I'm having a beautiful day. I hope everybody else is. Thank you for stating it that way. Suburban Hillbilly Rebecca. She was up all night with a massive migraine, so she's just kind of there with us, but that's fine. We'll take that.
Those are tough.
And there, I'm at the bottom of the list for right now. So anyways, the conversation I wanted to have was just kind of around lives in general. Okay. And we'll get through a couple of conversations regarding that. But I think for my perspective is trying to get people out there that may not have started doing lives. I personally feel, and again, I'm not an expert, I'm not YouTube certified or whatever. It's my perspective. From my perspective, lives have benefited me greatly. And I do believe you two as well are in agreement with that.
Well, I am, certainly, yes.
Okay. Brenda?
Yes.
Okay. I also know that, as with YouTube in general, and it's something it's hard for people to comprehend. You hop on YouTube, you don't just automatically know everything. It doesn't quite work that way. We all wish it would, right?
For 2.5 years and I still don't know much. But anyway.
You come in starting out looking like you're stupid.
Yep. It's ever evolving. It really is, and then you have other things, depending on the platform you use to live, whether you're going from just YouTube or you're using a streaming platform like I do, StreamYard. There's Melon. There's Restream, I think, is another one. Yeah. There's tons of them out there. Okay.
Yeah, Streamlab.
Right. But then in those, you also have OBS that you can do, which is a separate way of doing things altogether, which I know nothing about.
I don't either.
Yeah. I read it for 2 hours the other day, and I finally got up, walked away, said I need coffee and a cigarette, and I said I'm done. I can't do this no more. It's too much for me to try to comprehend for the little job I wanted to do. So
sure.
Anyways, my point is there's many different ways you can come at it. Now, again, like I said, I use StreamYard. Do you guys use StreamYard, or do you go
Yes.
straight from YouTube or another platform?
I use StreamYard.
I do. I use StreamYard most of the time. I have found that the different platforms prefer that you use their platform as
Of
far as
course.
getting the notifications out. But
Really?
mhm. But if you wanna share anything
Yeah.
or, bring up anyone or have a friend, then, you can't use those platforms very easily. That
Right.
both YouTube and Facebook both allow you to bring someone up, but it's not the same. So,
Yeah.
hey, Joe Fix-It. So I do
Yes.
StreamYard most of the time.
Okay. And I have found StreamYard's been very, once you get used to it, it's very user friendly. Now, there's flip sides to that because there are limitations as well. I mean, I'm not here to say it's the end all, perfect way to do it, but
Yeah. Well, for
you look
the
like you have a little story, so please do
well,
tell.
for the longest time, I had to have Jesse from Lazy Days Ahead
Yeah.
or Sherry from Black's Tropical down in the basement pushing the buttons for me.
Right.
I would just be up here being the talking head, and they're the ones that were working it for me. And then I began to be a big girl and do it myself, but it took a while. It took a
I
while.
love it. I love it. I do want to say hi to Angela, the Inquisitive Farm Wife's joined us. Christine, Miss Gillum Farms is in with us, and Thunderstruck Homestead. Thank you guys. Appreciate
Christine.
you coming in. What about you, Brenda? Did you find that StreamYard was
I don't think I've ever done
I'm
one
not
on YouTube.
you what?
I don't think I've done any on YouTube. I've done all of mine on StreamYard.
Okay.
And that was because Jesse was my helper, and that's what he used. So we went
Jesse seems to be a
straight into
helper,
that.
doesn't he?
He is a helper. Oh my gosh, in our entire community.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, he is. I was fortunate enough to have them on my Thursday night homestead hangout for my plethora of questions that I ask. And it was really enjoyable, but I do like that style that I'm doing right now because it gives you a different way to understand people from a different perspective.
Absolutely.
And it was fun. They seemed to have a good time, and everybody in chat enjoyed it. So
Jesse has a good time anywhere.
well, yeah.
He
I
Y'all
did
be
love
that light now.
Yes, please. I do like I was able to stump him a couple times. That was enjoyable on my part.
Okay, well, you did something if you made him speechless. So that's wonderful.
But the whole point I'm trying to get to, and really I want to delve more into this, is have you, and you guys have already said yes, it has, and I know for me it has. The question be, has the live stream been beneficial? Now, my channel really made a change because when I first come out, it was hammer on the videos, hammer on the videos, hammer on the videos, hammer on the videos. And then lives was introduced, and it's kind of like where a lot of my content is coming from the lives more than it is from the videos,
Sure.
And for me personally, because I view things a little differently, I'm weird that way.
No, you're
Not
I don't feel like I'm stuck in an algorithm, if that makes any sense, because I'm not pushing monetization. I'm not pushing, I have this guideline to meet or that guideline to meet. I met my 4,000 when 4,000 was a thing, and I met my 1,000 when 1,000 was a thing.
Awesome.
I've done what I need to do. I could move into monetization, but I choose not because I don't like being told what I have to do.
Okay.
If that makes any sense at all.
It's perfect. It's
Okay.
because you don't make any money anyway. So it's
Exactly.
really awesome.
I'm not ripping anybody off because there's nothing to rip off. So, but I also, because I enjoy, at least here we are back to a live stream again. My Tuesday night game night is a live stream. I like being able to play the music that I play when I do the music. Yes, I get a copyright claim, but if I was monetized, I could get a copyright strike and I can be removed because of it. So that's another reason why I don't want to deal with that headache. I go in and I fix it, it's gone, and we move on about our business. So But that's not a end all solution either, because I know if it becomes repetitive, they can still close your channel down if they still choose. That's on them,
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
know.
But can't you also, like if you have a video that you're live, that you've got some music on, can you not just choose to not monetize that one video but it still gets played for watch hours?
My understanding is you are correct. Again, I'm not monetized, so I don't know if that's the case,
Yeah.
but I've heard people that are monetized have said that if I don't put it up as monetized video, I'll get the claim, but I won't get the strike, and
Right.
then I'm not making anything off of it, so they can't
Right.
really say
But
something.
you still get watch hours and
You still get your watch hours, your likes, your comments, all that stuff still plays out the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Brenda, for what I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And you have Tony. I just noticed that because I am not smart. Uh,
Oh,
that's
that's
adorable.
funny.
So, Brenda, for me, for one, for you to go live has been wonderful for me because you're in all of our lives all the time. We've made a relationship with you in the chat, but
Yes.
to be able to see your face and have a relationship with you has been a great benefit for me.
Yes. 100%. I agree.
I appreciate that. Even though I'm a nervous wreck every time I do it still, so
It's
But that's
if I could
That's
get
funny
somebody
you
to come
said
on
that.
with me.
It's funny that you said that though. Hi, Virginia Alexander. Thanks for coming.
Virginia.
You make a valid point, Andale. You are correct. The levels that you make interactions and connections with people is so varying. And Brenda is a very valid point. In the beginning, not many people knew what Brenda looked like, had never seen her before, but they seen her name all over the place. You know? And I think it's wonderful when a channel does eventually go out, and then especially for the acknowledgement that Brenda had prior to putting videos out, and then you get to see who that person is, and you feel like you've gotten to know them that much more once you put a face to a name.
That's right.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Well, I feel the same for my own channel. I don't get the views on lives.
Right.
Or I am monetized, but I don't get the money off of lives that I might get off of a video, which still isn't much. But
Yeah.
I really enjoy being able to have people that I can make a better relationship with. And I
Yes.
feel like this is an opportunity that we can show our personalities, that
Right.
we can laugh and giggle. And, I'm not always this sicky sweet person that's on the video. Sometimes I do have a little bit of a personality.
Did you say sticky sweet or sicky sweet?
Is
Okay.
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 Sicky sweet.
But the other thing that goes along with it too is that
Hi, Sean.
who?
Sorry. Sean, let's trade paint.
Where's I didn't even see them come in. There it is. Hello. Thank you. I didn't see it. I think the important thing is to remember, and this is something that keeps coming back and back and back and back again into my face, especially with the collaborations going on. You hear it constantly. Every content creator, whether new, intermediate, senior at doing it, whether you're a big channel, a middle channel, or a huge, ginormous channel, we all put our clothes on the same way. We've all went out through this journey the exact same way. Nobody is different or better than anybody, and nobody should be having the perception that they're less or more than anybody else, because we've all done it the same way.
Yeah.
In with that, when Brenda says she's absolutely a nervous wreck every time she goes live, you're not the only one, sister. Everybody has been at that point at some point. Okay.
That's true. Before every single live, I always say a prayer. Every single one. Because if I don't, people are used to me being a bozo by now and dropping things and the sound going
I don't
out.
mean the bozo part. I mean the dropping thing.
Oh, yeah. All these various things, these woo whammies that seem to happen to me on lives. But yeah, that's really natural. And it helps sometimes to be a little bit nervous, gives you a little more energy in your show rather than totally laid back and have had a few drinks or something. So
right. And I think um, I think there's authenticity in that as well, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Trying to put on a show that's not you. And Brenda, I'm not picking on you. I'm just using you as an example. When you're a new channel, don't think you have to put a show on because people want to see you for who you are.
Right.
If they want something else, they'll go to Food Network or they'll go to the gardening channel or they'll go to
Yeah.
the DIY channel to get that. That's not what they're looking for typically. So,
And most of the time, lives are the best place to get watch hours.
yes,
Really.
that was
I
the
mean-
next part I was going to jump into. So
Oh,
I'm glad you said it.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Hi, Xander.
Hello, Alexander, and I was clarified. I've been saying his name wrong this whole time.
And there's Tiffany.
Not
He is-
Xander, it's Exander.
Alexander, yes, and Miss Tiffany, thank you for joining us. Grey Wolf Outdoors, thank you
I'm
guys.
glad you qualified, clarified that for us.
Yes,
Hey, Mud Mascara.
the good thing about doing live streams is the watch hours that you can get out of it. Now, does everybody, does every video live, does every topic generate that? No, not necessarily. You know, I have some that I'll get 80 views on before it's even done. And I get some like today, I'm sitting at 15, but I'm not doing it for the views
Right.
or the watch hours or whatever. I'm just trying to reach people. And if I reach one, I've done my job. That's the way I
There
look
you
at
go.
it.
There
So,
you go. Well, it's almost impossible to, if you are headed towards monetization, it's almost impossible to get it without doing lives.
yes, yes.
So,
Now, you
That's what I
can.
was finding. That's why I finally
Yeah.
started. Well, I'd done a couple, and then when this Friday slot came open, everybody hollered at me, Scott and Jan, and said, "Emery's decided not to do this spot. Do you want it?" I said, "I guess I better take it while I got the chance."
yes, you better, because
Yeah.
there
And I
is
still
no,
almost forget it.
there's no weekend spots just about.
The last 2 Fridays, I've been like 4 o'clock saying, "Oh no, I gotta go live at 5."
Yeah.
But that's mine happened accidentally too, because actually Casey at Ormsby Farms had been doing the 5 o'clock slot on Tuesdays, and then his internet issues had kept going, and then finally he said, "I'm just backing off for a little bit." I thought, might as
There
well
you go.
take it. You know, it's
Yeah.
a slot that's open, and I know it's been used, and so I cut it back a half hour. Well, actually, originally I cut it back a half hour, and then I went to 4 o'clock my time, which would have been 7 Ann's and
Good time.
6 for Brenda. But still, you got to take that opportunity when it happens, because it doesn't happen that often. So when it does, you know, don't look at it as you're stepping on somebody's toes to move yourself forward. You're filling a hole
Right.
that needs to
And,
be filled.
you know,
That was why I hadn't done a regular schedule every weekly certain time, because
Right.
y'all know I know everybody out here, and it's like every day I'm looking at trying to find a slot somewhere that I'm not
Right.
stepping on somebody's toes.
yeah,
Right.
that's
And
hard.
there wasn't hardly any,
No.
you know, because I mostly want to do mine somewhere in the evening if I can.
Right.
Mhm.
Every night of the week for me, with everybody that I know, was taken. So
Right.
I just hadn't picked a time in the schedule yet until this happened to pop open. So I said, yeah,
That's wonderful that it has
I'll take it.
happened at this time in your channel's life too, Brenda.
I need the watch hours really bad. I mean, I'm still a ways away from getting enough subs, but I'm not nowhere close. I ain't even got 1,000 hours yet, so I
Right.
still got a long way.
It'll come.
Yeah.
It'll come.
Well, and the other thing that goes along with that too, I think, is important for people to understand. So going back to where I said I don't feel like I follow an algorithm, I think when you're trying to get to that point that Brenda's at, you need to follow an algorithm, because it's what establishes consistency with your viewers. You know,
Mhm.
now that's not to say life doesn't happen and you have to make a change, and you have to make a change. I mean, it's just
Right.
the way it is. But I
Yep.
think a person needs to analyze. Again, this is my opinion. I think the best way to go is analyze or consider your own situation. Does it allow you to do it? If it does, even if it's one time a month that you're doing it, that's a
Right.
part of your algorithm. It becomes something over time
Yeah.
that people will expect, people will look for. Now you can do once a month, you can do once a week, you can do 2 times a week, 3 times a week, you can do it 7 days a week. There are some channels that do 7 days a week. I don't know how they ever do it, but they do it. Okay.
Yeah. That it becomes overwhelming for anyone that does 7 days a week.
Yeah.
After 6 months of 7 days a week, it's ridiculous. Now, on my Tuesday, I go live every Tuesday at 11 o'clock Eastern.
Right.
I picked that time because I was so scared, Brenda. I was so nervous that I thought at 11 o'clock on Tuesday, everybody's going to be working or headed to work in your case. Nobody's going to be there. I might have 5 or 6, maybe 10 that I can talk with, and I can just chat. Happy chatty Cathy, just have myself a big old time until I got used to going live.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it changed that it was a convenient time with my grandchildren, even if I'm at their house. They're at school on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock and that type of thing. And I just made a commitment that, y'all, I'll give you the rest of my life, but that 1 hour on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
I got plans, okay? I got plans. And so it worked out very well for me. And it's not a good time. And you go through all the studies of everything, and
Right.
it's not a good time. But I have a good time, and
Yeah.
it's a good time for me.
And that
So,
works. Yeah.
I just always figured if whatever time I did go live, if they miss it, maybe they'll come back and watch the replay.
that's
I-
right.
A lot
Yeah.
of people don't like to watch lives on a replay, but I like to, especially if the live chat is there,
Right.
to be able to play it at the same time. A
Right.
lot of them don't have it where it comes on right away. It may be the next day before the live chat is actually on the replay. But I like to see what everybody was saying at the same time that person was talking,
Right.
and
Right.
I can kind of play it.
Yeah, my live doesn't come up till like the next day.
Yeah. Mine's always the day after it pops up. Hello,
What?
Stephanie. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, there's a way to fix that where you can check a box or something and it's automatic, but I ain't found it yet.
No, when you go into YouTube Studio after you set it up on StreamYard, you go into YouTube Studio and then you go into Edit. The live, there's a box in there and it's under customization, and you have to click live chat replay. It's the delay that YouTube does. You have no control over it. So when they release it is when the live produces itself. So
Okay, that's what, because I was listening going, wait a minute.
Right.
Because I got that button clicked, honey.
Yes.
There's a lot of them that goes live in the next hour. It's already there. That's the reason I don't understand how they can.
So going by what you're saying, then maybe there's something we don't know, but that's the only thing I've ever been
That's what I
told
was
as far
told.
as that.
Where you're talking about, where that live chat replay is at, you can mark it before you're live, and it'll automatically
Yes.
put it on there.
And I do on mine. I do that. I go in and I'll get my thumbnail done. I'll get my StreamYard set up. Then I go over to YouTube, and then I automatically make sure that's checked, because I have been tore down because I forgot to click that button sometimes. But
well, I don't do that for every live. I just haven't.
No.
I haven't done it yet. Maybe I need to go back and check and see if it plays.
I don't know.
Dark Lord Minute says it's stupid, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
And he also said, "Look, there are 32 people in my house. There ain't no way in the world I could do a live." So I totally get that. But you have to go out in your car. There's a lot of lives that are done in the car or some other place. We'd love to see you. That would be.
Yes.
That would be an intriguing video
be
that would be overwatched, I'm
that
sure.
would be you would definitely have the community coming and watching you.
Yes.
That was like my first live with Jesse, because I had Jesse and Scott to join me on panel for the first one, and I'm kind of like Ann. I was expecting maybe 10 or 15 people.
You had a ton, because I was
the
there
first
too.
live I had close to 200 people, and it was like, oh my God, I can't even read the chat.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. I had that happen to me one time on one of the collaborations. I want to say it was Jam It Up June last year, not this year's. I couldn't keep up with the chat if I wanted to. It was just going. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is obnoxious.
Well, we do the best we can with what we got.
Yes.
Because I can't keep up with mine either.
So, has for you guys in regards to your channels, and then I'll come back and ask a different way, and you'll understand what I mean by it. Do the live streams in general, do you feel they benefit your channel, regardless of the views or subscriptions? Do you think that it does provide the continuity to your subscribers? That's what I'm asking.
Well, you broke up a little bit there for me. I'm not sure if you broke up for everyone. But
I probably did.
If I heard you correctly, you wanted to know if doing lives had brought more continuity and more of a connection with our subscribers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay.
To me, because they're able to speak to you right away. It's not like on a video where they make a comment and then an hour later you're answering them or something.
Right.
You're able to speak to them. They can hear your tone of voice. They can hear your pronunciation. It's just a benefit to be able to answer questions and speak to people and individuals right away. To me,
it's more like you're actually visiting with them right then.
Yeah, we're kind of sitting around on the kitchen table.
Yep. Well, and for me, that's, I think for me in regards to my channel, that's the reason I wanted to do it, because I felt that connection by watching the ones I had been watching prior to me going live. Scared as heck. Did not think it was going to go very well.
Yeah.
I think I had to use the bathroom after my first one, if that means anything for anybody.
Let me tell you, my very first live, I didn't know it was live. Because I didn't think you could go live on the computer through YouTube unless you had your subscribers.
Right.
And I had just gotten a new computer. And so I thought, well, worth's not here. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm in the dark in my pajamas. And I'm fiddling around, trying to learn to hit the live button. And here Brooke Farmer comes up and says, "Hey, Andale." And I went, oh, shut that thing down real quick. I had no idea I was live. None.
That is hilarious.
I'm just so grateful that I had decent pajamas on.
Yes.
I mean, I could have really not. And so that was awesome. And then I did a big live I was trying to practice to get ready for my birthday. That first year, I was getting close to monetization, and it was my birthday, and I wanted to do a big giveaway of prizes. And it went fine. It went great. I had a nice turnout. Nothing like 200, Miss Brenda, but I did have a nice turnout. When I hit in chat, I went and threw up. I was so nervous. I'm telling you, I went to the bathroom and threw up. It was terrible because I was so nervous, which is not really, it's not like me. But there was so much tension to make sure that you've got all these buttons right and you're reading the chat and you're giving out. I only had me for that giveaway, and they were picking numbers or something, in there. Whew. I know, Suburban Hillbilly, that first live where I went, what?
Yeah. Canadian Family Life, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
So we've all had some experiences.
Brenda, go ahead.
I just said hi, Tiffany.
Oh, I remember I had been playing the do I want to do live, do I not want to do live game for a while. And I had been watching Lisa at Yogi Hollow Farm every Friday night. She did her live. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm ready for this. I think I want to do this. I'm not positive. Of course, then the butterflies start moving, and then you get all
Yeah.
perspiry, and you feel like you're
Yes.
sweating profusely, and it's like, okay, no, I'm not going to do it. So I backed off.
Yeah.
And then it's for me, it's the same thing every time, and I don't get it through my thick skull. I'm already there. I might as well just go through with it because I'm going to repeat this process again the next time I think I'm ready, right? Anyway, so I got in, and or she had a cancellation or something. I don't remember what it was, and she invited me up, and I just jumped in. I said, "Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it." And jumped up there, and I was doing the dance. I was like, "I did it! I finally did it! I'm
Yay!
finally
That's
on a
right.
live show." And I was hooked after that. That was the end of it. I mean, in all honesty. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't have the nervousness still along the way,
Right.
but I seen the interaction I had with the people in chat, and that was one of the best things I think for
it's
me,
great.
because of what you just said. It's
Yeah.
real time. You get to have a conversation. They're not waiting for a response unless you ignore them, which I have a tendency to do sometimes, but
Well, it's
not intentionally.
not intentional.
That's like me. I went up on a few lives myself before I actually did my first one, just because I wanted to see what it was like to be
Right.
actually be on a panel.
Yeah.
Too busy.
I think the thing that creeps me out, it's not the looks, it's not the nervousness, it's hearing my voice. That's what is weird to me.
Oh, you have an awesome voice.
And see, I don't think so. I think I have the weirdest sound.
I don't either. People
No.
say, "Oh, I love listening to your voice," and I'm like, I
Okay.
don't hear that.
Yeah.
But it's
My mom
phenomenal.
my mom or my wife, I don't remember which one it was. I want to say it was my wife because she's the one that's around me the most in this stuff. But nonetheless, the statement got made. Why do you think your voice sounds weird? It's the same thing we hear every single day. And I finally went, there's some merit to that. I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah.
Because
right.
it is the same thing they hear all the time. It's nothing new. I
Yeah.
think it sounds weird, but that's beside the point. So
Well,
you-
no one
You
would
get
like to.
identifying somebody by the way they talk to or the way they sound.
yeah.
Yes.
I can flip a live on and walk off and turn around and it's like, well, so and so's on that live.
Yep.
Let me get back over there and see what's going on.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right, Brenda.
Because you recognize the voice.
Yep.
And I mean, next weekend I am going down to Alabama for a big meetup.
hmm
Well, it's not huge, but it's a meetup at Pedals from the Past in Jemison, Alabama. And that's about 11-hour, maybe 11 and a half hour drive from my house. Long way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to meet people that I have already met, like we're meeting here and speaking
Right.
face to face. These are friends and relationships that I have made to be able to go and be a part of that. And I think it's great. Yeah, Virginia.
Thanks,
You guys
Virginia.
have a great radio.
I don't think I'll be doing radio anytime soon. But thank you. I appreciate the comment.
You could. You really
Yes,
could.
good.
Anyways,
Yeah. I used to work at a radio station actually
did you really?
when I was 17, from
Oh.
17 to 27.
Okay. I'm not being mean and I'm not being facetious when I say this, but I'm assuming that's been a little while ago.
It's been a couple weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
I would
Okay.
say so.
Okay. I was thinking last
Yeah,
weekend.
I
but
just
okay.
turned 64. So yeah, I don't mention it very often because it was a whole nother life ago, It was
It is. Yeah, I get it.
not something that I, thought had anything to do with anything.
The Suburban Hillbilly has said this many times, but I find it funny every single time I read it. I love it. I love it.
Have a voice for newsprint. Okay, I get you.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think the other thing too, with live streams is don't overdo it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. I think you have to find that happy medium, whatever that is. If you find that, I think the good thing for live stream is as long as you're maintaining the content you're normally putting out and you're just adding live stream, you're not trying to change it over. I think you can make a few adjustments and still be fine. But
Sure.
if you're trying to change it out for your existing content day to day, day for day is what I'm saying, then you might want to be a little bit more secure in what you're planning on doing, because you don't want to lose whatever you may have established. Now that's me just as a content creator to anybody that's trying to go monetization. If you
Mhm.
really don't care, then it doesn't matter. Do what you want to do.
Okay. See, I was reading that in two different ways.
Right.
I said, I hope you'll look for Peaceful Des. I am J and B. She and I are going to exchange some goodies. But being on live is so important to be your same self,
Yes,
because it's too much work to be somebody else.
it is.
And you'll forget, and then the real you will come out eventually. I have had some people in the past that I have watched for long periods of time, and then lo and behold, the curtain is off.
Yeah,
And
I get
it's
that.
not just once. Everybody has an opportunity to be unusual once, but to be
Do we have opportunity or permission? Because that's a difference.
I don't know.
Okay.
Forgiven. How about
Okay,
that?
there you go.
Forgiven
We'll
for
go with
once. But if you continue it, that might be a different story.
that.
I don't know. I
That's
just
Jan and Loose Faucet.
yeah.
Everybody knows Jan already, and then when Loose Faucet came into the scene, it was like,
That's
was
right. But
hilarious.
she makes that, she
Yeah.
even
Yes.
changes the name of that
Yep.
character, which is very awesome. I mean,
Yes.
we're all crazy
there's
about this.
nothing wrong with having fun. I don't think. I mean,
Right.
and being yourself at the same time. That's what most people want, is just to be you.
That's
Not-
right.
I theoretically, minding my language that I have a tendency to use, I agree 100%. Be your real self. Be who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you may
Well-
have to filter on YouTube, but I want Ann Dale and Brenda to know me the way they are if they were sitting at my table having coffee with me. Yes,
Well,
I agree.
mean, but Tony, I feel like if you and I were sitting at the kitchen table and we're
Mhm.
having coffee, and you knew that filth, foul, foul coming out of your mouth would be offensive to me,
I wouldn't
then
do it.
you wouldn't do it.
Right.
And
Yes.
so this is you, you
Okay.
know.
There you go.
um,
I'll give you. Thank you.
and
I
this is you.
appreciate that, because I didn't look at it that way.
So it's not like you're being fake. You're just being respectful.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that a lot on a lot of channels that might say, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little bit.
Yeah.
That kind of person, which is fine. And
Well, and even the honesty of it, and this is going to start harming some of these channels I will be speaking of, but I'm not pointing anybody out or any channel directly, just in theory. There are channels out there where they're smoking cigarettes, they're drinking, they're cussing, they're doing other things they shouldn't be doing, and sooner or later it's going to bite them. And why put yourself in that position to start off with?
Yeah.
Just
it
do.
is
If you wouldn't do it in front of your grandma or your mom, then why would you do it on live TV? I mean,
That's right.
theoretically.
That's right.
Right.
I mean, I'm no moral or morality police or anything like that, but I do appreciate when people are respectful. And when I watch someone that I had watched for a time, it's not anyone in our community right this minute or will be anytime soon, probably, but we do surf quite a bit on YouTube. And there was, a couple of weeks in a row where they were smoking pot and drinking booze and cussing like a sailor. And I was like, I didn't know that person. I don't know that person.
Unrealistically canny, my friend. I think I know who you're talking about, because I did the same thing. It's very ironic, the conversation you had, because that's what I had with myself at the time. But that's neither here or there. You don't know that. This is the other thing I think I want to throw out there without really going much into it, because it's off subject, but it's a thought process. If you think you know somebody, odds are you probably don't know them. So be very cautious moving forward.
I am the worst joke character. If you come to me and you're nice to me, then I think you're the cat's meow. So
I get it.
I'm not very good at that, unfortunately, until you prove me wrong. And once you prove me wrong, I'm
Then
smart enough
it's
to
right,
realize that,
right,
okay, well, that's not right. That's not a
right,
correct thing to do.
right.
So yeah, but that's true. I mean, my friend, I'm sorry, Brenda. Did you have something you wanted to say, honey?
No. Nope, go right ahead.
I'm just chatting on, but my
She's like,
friend,
I'm good. It means it's less talking I got to do.
my friend cooking at Pam's place that we actually have, I've never met her in person, but we chat and text and talk on the phone several times a week. And she said on her live, y'all think you know me. You don't know me from a can of paint. You don't have a clue. And nobody else that you're watching on live do you really know from a
Right.
can of paint. So just remember that. And I thought, oh, okay.
Well, that's
Yes, you
kind
are.
of like our news yesterday for Oklahoma City had a case of they arrested a woman and I believe it was a boyfriend or husband, one of the two, for child abuse,
Oh.
and that was her, what she called her job was being a YouTuber. But
Oh
nobody
my.
knew that
Wow.
he was this kind of person, and she had her kids tied up in their rooms. They wasn't allowed to go nowhere, do nothing. They had bruises and stuff
No.
all over. I mean, it's a really sad case, but it was like the people that, I mean, I don't know who she was. It wasn't somebody that I followed, but they were saying it on the news that people they started contacting through YouTube that was followers of her
Right.
didn't have a clue.
Right.
That
Well, you don't always know, but I can tell you, if you stay on lives long enough,
Yeah,
that true personality is gonna sneak out a
It
little
will.
bit.
Yes.
It's gonna
Yes.
sneak out. So
Yeah. I get it. I get it. So this really kind of comes back to a little comment I want to throw out. Virginia said she stopped watching someone who's vaping while their children were present. This, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the collaborations I'm a part of now, we have 4 set rules. Don't do anything you shouldn't be doing, because here's the reality of it. A lot of us have grandkids or children or nieces and nephews or whatever that watch. And sometimes, like my son will pop in, not because he's a part of the show, but he just happens to pop in.
sure.
We've taken a stand to say we're going to be conscious of that. So if
Mhm.
you're doing a live, please don't be smoking, don't be drinking, don't be cussing. I mean, which most people don't,
Right.
but
And it's unfortunate that you have to say that.
it is.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
we did at one time because of people didn't think it was that big of a deal. I get that. If you're a single person, or even if you're married and don't have kids, you're not going to perceive it the same way I do, or
Right,
like Ann or
sure.
Brenda do with grandkids or whatever. So anyways, I just wanted to
That's
throw
life
that out there
changing.
since that came
well,
up.
to me, it's a matter of respect for the channel that you're going to be on because you don't know what their sub people are or who they
Right.
are. That there may
Right.
be children that's actually watching it, so you shouldn't be doing things that could look bad for them.
Right.
So here's the thought process I've had, and I'll give you an example, and I think everybody will understand this. Okay. I try to set up my videos and put the content out and have a live stream the same exact way that if I was sitting over on Leanne Mennonite Farmhouse's live talking about the same thing, I'm not going to offend the people that are over on her channel. Does that
Sure.
make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That
You're showing
that's
respect.
and it goes back to the respect thing that you both have talked
Exactly.
about, but I think you have to be conscious of that and not hinder their results as well as your results for a stupid reason, I guess.
Well, for most of us, for most of our, especially the 3 of us,
Right.
you kind of just, what you see is what you get.
Yes.
And we just are. And it's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
And we have, my eye teeth are getting in the way and my words getting out. Can't see get my words out. But as far as beneficial to the channel, there are to me in my specific area. Like I said, I may not get the views, but I get the relationships.
Yes.
And I may have higher numbers, but they don't know me. They haven't given that. We're not on that. I know who
Right.
Tony is. I know who
Yeah.
Brenda is
Yeah.
if I see you somewhere,
Right.
kind of thing. Or
Right.
if I see you in the chat, or if I see you on my phone, kind of thing.
Right.
And I appreciate that. And I treasure that, the
Yeah.
relationships, because all in all, it comes down to relationships that we're building with each other.
And I think the important thing for everybody to remember that's listening is just this. We're not, I don't think one of us is sitting here trying to deter you from doing a live stream. As a matter of fact, I think it's the opposite. I think you will find it very beneficial. I think you'll find it rewarding. And I think it will, for those that wanted to help their channel in numbers, it probably will. You're not going to see, like Brenda's, fortunately, she had it. Most of us don't see it. 200 people sitting in a live stream. It just doesn't normally happen that way. But if it's smaller, you have a better opportunity to connect with the smaller group
Exactly.
versus a
Right.
larger group that you can't keep up with. So there is a trade-off to it. So
There is. I mean,
go ahead.
it would be kind of cool to have
It would. Yes.
4,000 or 5,000
It's
people
a lot
there.
smaller. It's,
Yeah.
it's a lot smaller on my lives now. That was had to do with Jesse and Scott being there. Was why there was so many. The first
It was
time.
because we were supporting your first live too.
Yes.
That's,
Yes.
everybody wanted to come in and give you a girl, telling you that we love you and we're proud of you. So,
Right. And I think that, that's another, to me, it's almost what's another part of this community that I've not seen in some others. I'm not saying all of them, just some of them. The connection, once you've connected with this group, you've got a resource, you have an outlet, you have knowledge, you have experience, you have an understanding of same said information.
yeah.
When you have a group that you can rely on for that, it just makes it more beneficial for you. Brenda, are you getting the vapors, sister?
It's starting to warm up in here.
Well, I will do you a solid, my friend. Okay. We're at 47 minutes. I'm okay with it. I want you to turn your air conditioner on,
It's
please.
too loud, Tony.
You stuck with us, Dark says.
I'll live.
Okay. And then the other thing that goes with it is just make sure that if you don't know something, you reach out to somebody. There's tons of channels out there, at least
Oh
in
my gosh,
my
yeah.
community, that the community we're all a part of. Let me be frank about that are more than willing to help you out, but they don't know you need the help if you don't ask for it. So, I mean, and Brenda, I know you can attest to it, and I know Ann, I can attest to it from your angle as well. You both have helped me, or I've helped you, and that's what it's about. It's about that resource being there. If you don't know, but nobody can help you if you don't tell. That's the ultimate point I'm trying to say.
That's the truth. Trying to reach out. I am in the process of trying to reach out for editing skills. I need an editing class terribly.
Me and you both.
That's it. That is an advantage to doing lives. There's very little editing, if at all. And
part of my problem until now, my iPad and stuff was all Apple products.
Right.
There's not very many people that uses the Apple products to be able to help me
Right.
do
yeah,
those things.
I've got an Apple
But
phone.
now I've got a laptop, but I still ain't figured out how to use it either.
What editing software are you using, Ann?
I had been doing everything on my phone with iMovie. And it was working okay, but I wanted to do better because I see things that I want to do. YouTube see, YouTube do. I see all these cool little things. Johnny's good at editing. Brenda and Miss Andale. We use Apple products. Christine, you just volunteered your husband for quite the job, baby. Quite the job. That sounds awesome. I hope he's patient. Because
Excuse me.
Yeah, iMovie is what I use too. And that's kind of been the problem with going from the iPad over to this laptop because it's an HP.
Yeah.
and I don't have iMovie on it. So
Yeah.
right now I ain't figured out an editing program to
Yeah.
use on there yet.
Well, Brenda, let me
Yeah.
just share with you. I was suggested because I did use iMovie on my phone all the time. Miss Ann, just use iMovie on because I do have a Mac computer. Just use iMovie on your Mac computer. It is ain't the same. It's totally different. And I couldn't figure it out.
I didn't think that you could even use it on something else
Daggone it.
product,
But
but
yeah, you gotta have an Apple product. But yeah, it's not the
that's
same.
what I use on my iPad when I do
Not
my
the same.
editing, which ain't very good, but it's got me by so far.
There you
But
go.
you know, we talked about this last week, Brenda. You know, the thing about editing is an ever evolving process. Whether you don't really use editing software. Okay, so here's the starting point. No editing at all. Okay.
Yes,
That's the starting point.
correct.
Anything you can do above that is just an improvement on that original stage. Okay.
Yeah.
You look at my first video and you look at what I just put out the other day, two totally different styles of video editing and process.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Excuse me.
But
So,
when I first started, I would have to stop and redo it. Like
oh wow. Okay,
the
you
whole
were a
thing.
little more into it than I was.
No, I mean I had to redo the whole darn video because I had
Oh.
really messed up. And
Got it.
oh, I hated that. But go ahead.
Christine,
no,
just don't tell him that she volunteered him though.
Just reach out one day to him and say, "Hey, I hear you happen to know about."
And Thunderstick Homestead said they use Mojave.
And I just started hearing about that. I don't know much about it.
Mauve.
Mauve is how I pronounce it. I don't know if that's
Mauve.
correct or
Yeah,
not.
because I said it wrong, but Mauve. Okay, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, but my whole point in saying what I did about the editing is don't be horrifically hard on yourself because it is an evolving process. You learn how to do one thing. When you do it the next time and you start learning a new thing, you'll see the changes will subtly over time start taking effect and they become practice for you. So,
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Oh, Christine, is that the way to butter him up? Tell him that Jesse
Yep.
said he's an editing genius.
yep, that will.
I'll be glad to say that. Just don't let him see this live.
Yes. You might want to delete it out of your playlist there, sister.
It does, yeah. So, yeah.
That's funny. Anyway, so do you guys have anything else before we call it a day to add to the whole conversation of live stream?
Is there any subject that you have not broached or talked about that you particularly wanted to cover?
No, though we've hit what I wanted to talk about because I didn't want to get in depth on how to do the live stream. It was just about the being comfortable with it, understanding it's an ever evolving processing editing is all of that stuff. It's just something over time. I do believe firmly using live stream, you can connect better with your community and your subscribers. And I don't think it's a bad move. Don't worry about what feels like hurdles and anxiety and butterflies and all that, because everybody's been there and you will get through it at some point in time. It's just somebody pushing you off the ledge or you taking a leap. One of the two has to happen. So
that's right. Well, I mean, like Brenda spoke earlier, the first couple of times that I came up after my very first video that I didn't know live,
the pajama video
at 10 o'clock at night in a dark room.
Yeah.
Was to come up on other people's channels, other people's panels. And that was very comforting to not have to be responsible. I mean, we can, if we're in social media, we can do some chatting. Yeah. So,
can I throw something into that real quick because I just thought about this?
Please.
And I don't know if you guys have any information pertaining to this. Another suggestion. If you don't know who it is that you're putting up on your channel, don't put them up on your live stream.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Know who you're putting up there. Make sure that they show you who they are on the other side.
Exactly.
Because I don't have to explain. I'm sure these other two know what I'm talking about. There's been plenty of live streams that inappropriate stuff has happened unbeknownst to the person bringing the guest up. So
Oh yeah, yeah. They don't know. Don't know.
be very careful who you're bringing up. I
Mm-hmm.
would recommend not putting up, here's the link, anybody can come up, because you will get all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Well, I
That-
do that, but I also check them out in the basement before I allow them to come up.
And there you
If
go.
I don't
That
know them,
works
then I
too.
usually will say, you know, does anybody know these folks? Are they okay? Or
Right.
Right.
because you're right, you never know what they're going to be leading into.
That's right. And Brenda, you have that moderator mind also to be able to
Yes.
think,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
and I've
and
got several
and to
good
be cautious.
for good moderators on my channel too, so that
Right.
helps.
Point number 2, thank you, Brenda. Make sure your moderators you can trust, because you're giving them a lot of control for your channel. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
be leery of that. I know we talked about some of this last week, Brenda, but I think it's worth repeating some of it. So
Well, I see
Always.
a lot of people that they just go through and they mod everybody.
yes,
I don't agree with that myself, because if you don't really know them, you don't know what you're allowing them to do. I mean,
Right.
'cause
Well, I didn't
they
know.
can really hurt your channel
Yeah.
if you don't know them, and they're up to no good.
right.
Yeah.
We've
I-
run into
Yeah.
other folks, and so I don't agree with just moderating anybody. I think you ought to pick and choose who you know or who
Right.
you've gotten to know and you can trust before you
Right.
start doing that.
Well, I mean, I sort of feel like it's giving that person an extra set of keys to your house.
Yeah.
You know,
It is.
who you
Yeah.
gonna do that with? And there's some people that don't want an extra set of keys to your house.
Yeah.
But I had a whole ton of my friends that were moderators for a long time, and I still don't think 99.9% of them would ever hurt me on purpose for any reason in the whole wide world.
You're making
There
me
was that
nervous though. You said
1%.
99.9%.
There
That
was
means
that
there's
1%.
0.01%. Yeah.
Weird things were happening. People
I
that
get
I
it.
know that I care about were being blocked behind the
Yeah.
scenes and
That's
stuff like
terrible.
that. And it was like, you know, you can make a mistake by hitting that button as a moderator once in a
Right.
while, but
Right.
when it starts
Well,
getting big,
right behind that too is there's other people. You don't have to be a moderator anymore in chat to, I don't believe, to block somebody if there's
No, you don't.
been really bad. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't really know how to. That's something I haven't learned yet. How to go back and see.
yeah, I
Well,
think
but
I think that just blocks it from, like, if I'm on Tony's channel or your channel and
Right.
I block somebody, it's just blocking them from my channel,
Oh,
not
it wouldn't be
from the chat.
blocking them from the live itself.
Right. And
Oh,
not
okay.
unless, I mean, that's my understanding. I don't know. What do I know? I mean, I could easily be wrong because
I get
Brenda's
it.
got that look like, I don't know about that.
yeah, because I know it at the time that I've only had to do it once or twice, and that was most of that has been because the person's channel I was on said get rid of them,
Right.
because they were spoutings. Well,
Right.
after you do it this long, you kind of know when it's a troll versus an actual person.
Yes.
And along with, if it's somebody new, us moderators usually go in and see their channel before the host does. So if they don't have any content and they're blabbing their mouths about stuff that don't make any sense, yeah, we're usually either going to time them out or block them off to keep from causing trouble. And
Right.
like I said, I've only had to do it maybe a couple of times, and it blocks them from the rest of that live if a moderator blocks them.
Right.
Yes.
Whether
If,
they come back again, I don't know. I've never. I
no, it blocks them in behind the scenes until the actual person that has the channel goes in and unblocks them.
Yeah.
So, Suburban Hillbilly
I
said
just
that
seen that. Go ahead.
her cat she stepped away for a second to get a drink of water, and her cat laid on her laptop and banned a whole bunch of innocent people. So, oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think the thing to consider in regards to those people that should be banned is if your moderators are finding it, in other words, here's the trusting in your moderators. If the moderators are finding it offensive or possibly offensive, odds are they've made a decision for a very valid reason. Something has triggered them. Okay. So be
Mhm.
trusting in who's moderating for you. On the flip side of that, and I want to bring this up, I just got to go here. This is one person right here that was in every one of my lives every single time.
Yeah.
Always there, knew the people, knew what they were doing, knew who to expect. He now is a moderator on my channel because he showed the trust levels from me in watching him
Sure.
warranted it.
Mhm.
My point is, not even just moderators can help you out. Just people who are watching your lives can help you
Yes.
out if they're doing the right things. And that's where you as a host need to watch those kind of things. So,
Right. That's right.
all right. Anything else? We're at our 1 hour.
Well, I want to say hey to Radio Jonesy Tasmania because he's
Awesome.
been ill and he's been in hospital. And I'm so glad that he's coming and joining our
Yes, I
chat,
didn't know he was in the hospital, but I knew he
feeling
wanted to.
better again.
He's,
Yeah.
So
he's
that's
home
good.
now, but he's getting better.
Good.
That's wonderful.
Good.
And yeah,
It-
it
great.
is stinky if you're co-streaming and you lose control of things. So
Yes. How many times have the three of us been on and accidentally cut your live stream off?
oh gosh,
No,
I've done it.
I have not done that.
I wouldn't even know how to do that.
Have
I
fun with that
have-
one when that happens.
I have unplugged my microphone a couple
That's not
of
the
times.
same thing.
No, but I mean, I'm giving signs, I'm doing the sign language. And that's
That is fun.
difficult.
All right. So I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat that came in. We appreciate that. Everybody that modded, thank you. You too. Thank you very much for coming in and joining us for this
My butt
conversation.
blocked.
For having us once again.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, Dark Lord Monet. I didn't know. I blocked
You're the
him.
one that butt blocked
Butt
him?
blocked him once. But he came back.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
You came back.
All right. Well, as always, remember this cannot happen unless you guys do what you've done. And for that, I appreciate it. So remember, be smart, think ahead, meal prep with these, and always preserve. Have a great week, guys.
Thank
You
you.
too, Tony.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, Ann.